Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am the Maize Madman. Before we get started, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you're aware every time I upload a video. Today, we are talking about a certain 4-star from the state of Idaho that Michigan covets, who just ran a blazing time in the 100 meter at the Texas Relays. Plus, Michigan defensive coordinator Jesse Minter is visiting top recruits in Ohio. We'll tell you who that is. And Michigan target Jordan Shipp talks about Jaden Davis's commitment making Michigan sweeter in his eyes. All that, and of course, I'm upset. Don't ever fix your lips like collagen and say something where you gonna end up apologizing. Let me know if it's a problem there. Alright, man, holla then. Let's get into it. Michigan is in hot pursuit of a few targets at wide receiver, right? We have Amarian Stewart out of Illinois. We have another wide receiver target, Gatlin Bair out of Idaho, who we'll be talking about a little later in the video. And then you have the teammates, current teammates, high school teammates at Providence Day School, also teammates with Michigan 5-star quarterback commit Jaden Davis, Jordan Shipp, and Channing Goodwin. Channing Goodwin is a legacy recruit. Jordan Shipp, whose father went to the University of Florida, is considering Michigan amongst a plethora of other schools, including North Carolina and NC State. So, Jordan Shipp recently sat down with the Michigan Insider talking about his recruitment and the commitment of Jaden Davis and how that affects him. Plus, he gave a timeline for his decision. All of that in the sit down with Sam Webb at the Michigan Insider. So when asked about his timeline, Jordan Shipp had this to say. He said, quote, "It'll be before the season that I'll announce, either next month or a month later. Really, it'll just come down to what makes me happy. Is wherever I can see, when you put football aside, I still want to be there, school-wise, location, and everything like that. Seeing what my family will like, praying about it, and who's going to be my quarterback." So those are the top factors for Jordan Shipp in his decision, if you will, for his college destination. He also spoke about Ron Bellamy, Michigan's wide receiver coach, and how their relationship has been throughout this recruiting process for Michigan. He said, quote, "It feels like I've known him forever. It feels like we click. Everything is just smooth. We talk all the time. We were just talking about grilling recently. Most of the time we talk, it's not really about football. He's made it clear that even if I don't choose Michigan, he'll always be there for me if I ever need anything. He always has my back. So just having somebody like that I know that I can potentially I could play for, is a great feeling." So Ron Bellamy obviously making an impact with Jordan. He also went on to say, "Being away from home is nothing. I'm not too worried about it. We've got FaceTime. I can call my mom, I can call my dad, and I'll be able to fly back and forth to see my family. So being away is nothing I'm too worried about." So distance from his home in North Carolina really isn't going to be a factor for Shipp, it sounds like. And having his quarterback, his high school quarterback, Jaden Davis, be at Michigan, a potential landing spot for him, he said is, quote, "sweet." So hopefully that is a good sign for Michigan. And in terms of landing Jordan Shipp, Michigan, of course, is looking to land wide receiver or 2 or 3 in this recruiting class. Jordan Shipp currently is ranked as the 385th ranked player in 24/7 Sports composite ranking, the 55th ranked wide receiver, and the 11th ranked player in the state of California. He is a pretty decent size frame, 6'2", 195. And like I said, he is in the 2024 class out of Providence Day School. We'll keep you updated on everything regarding Jordan Shipp as more information comes about. Moving right along, Michigan defensive coordinator Jesse Minter will be making a couple of stops in enemy territory as he'll be in Ohio, starting actually in Cleveland at Glenville High School, the obviously the home of Bryce West, top 100 cornerback out of Cleveland. He's been considering Michigan along with the other state and some others. Right now, the other state holds multiple crystal balls in their favor for Bryce West, but Michigan by no means is giving up on this recruitment and feels that they are still in it. And, the longer these things go, the better for Michigan. Obviously, if a kid is favoring one school over Michigan, obviously that gives the Wolverines more time to try and change that player's mind. And of course, Bryce West and some recruiting services is the number 1 player in the state of Ohio, and in others not so much, but no one has him any lower than the 4th ranked player in the state of Ohio. So this is a big deal. He is obviously at Glenville under the tutelage of Ted Ginn Sr., who traditionally sends kids to the other state. So that is another hurdle that Michigan will have to overcome in this recruitment, but one that they are up for. After visiting Cleveland and Glenville High School, Jesse Minter plans to visit top 100 cornerback Aaron Scott in Springfield, Ohio, making the short drive from Cleveland to Springfield for Jesse won't be a problem. Obviously, these two guys in the state of Ohio are huge priorities for Michigan. Generally, the 1 and 2 ranked player in the state of Ohio as they flip back and forth. Speaking of Aaron Scott and Bryce West, Aaron Scott has been rated no lower than 6th by any of the services, as Rivals has him as the 6th ranked high school player in the state of Ohio. However, most have him as the number 1 ranked player in the state of Ohio at about 5'11", 6 feet, 165 pounds. Aaron Scott has shown great on-ball skills and his just uncanny ability to be around the football is something that Michigan covets, especially on the outside and at that corner position. So Jesse Minter getting his feet wet and his hands dirty on the recruiting trail in the state of Ohio, which I think is a great sign. It's a great signal to these guys in Ohio, Bryce West and Aaron Scott, that Michigan is serious about them, that the defensive coordinator is out personally to visit them at their high schools. It's not just a one-way street where they have to come to Ann Arbor to have the likes of Jesse Minter speak with them or see them. He is out on the recruiting trail making the stops himself, and this should bode well for Michigan in terms of building up some trust and some rapport with those players. So we already know what Steve Klingscale has been doing, and he has great relationships with both Aaron Scott and Bryce West. But now Jesse Minter, the defensive coordinator, out on the trail himself, should be a great thing for Michigan down the line. Moving right along, and before we do, I want to take this time to remind everyone to hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so you're aware every time I upload a video, and follow me on Twitter at Maize Madman. be sure to check out the live show every Wednesday at 6 p.m. with myself and Ryan Fravel from Week Zero, and check out Week Zero Productions as they do great work over there. Moving right along to the number one story of the day, and that is wide receiver target Gatlin Bair out of Idaho. Gatlin Bair is not talked about a lot. Hasn't been talked about a lot. I've spoken about him in previous videos, but he is a 6'3", 180-pound wide receiver out of Burley, Idaho. He attends Burley Senior High School, and he is currently the 40th ranked player in the 2024 class, the number 9 ranked wide receiver in all of the country, and the top ranked player in the state of Ohio. In the state of Idaho. In fact, he is the top ranked player ever out of the state of Idaho, and for good reason. This kid has a 46-inch vertical. I know it's not basketball, but that just tells me that he can high point the football. He also runs a 10.18 meter. That is insanely fast. He just ran that time at the Texas Relays, where he took home the top prize, beating, by the way, and this should make Michigan fans feel good, a little warm inside. He beat 2023 5-star athlete Nyckoles Harbor in the process of taking home that number one, or that top not ranking, but award. He won first place in the 100 meter at the Texas Relays, which is a big deal. He actually had one of the fastest times of anyone at the Texas Relays, and that is beyond high school. In high school, he obviously had the fastest time at 10.18 seconds at the Texas Relays anyway, but that the Texas Relays also has professionals and the top college athletes racing at the Texas Relays as well, and he had one of the fastest times, period. This is what is so incredible about this. He obviously just released a top 5 that includes Michigan, Boise State, Nebraska, Idaho, and TCU. And what is most incredible about this is that every day you don't see a kid from the state of Idaho running as fast as this kid. Can you imagine that? Being from Idaho, going to Texas to defeat kids from Washington, D.C. and California, Florida, Texas. This isn't an everyday occurrence. And beyond that, he is a phenomenal athlete, and one of the most underrated athletes, if you will. The recruiting services are not underrating him, but I do feel like the media, even new media and national media alike, are doing a disservice to themselves by not looking and putting a spotlight on this kid. But right here on the Maize Madman, we are going to put a spotlight on people, on talents like Gatlin Bair, and just look at this guy go. He is a dominant force, obviously, for his high school. We know the greatest high school football in the country isn't played in Idaho necessarily, but he is doing his part in dominating anyway, even if, like I said, it's not the greatest competition in the world. That being said, in his junior year, he reeled in 73 passes for 1,073 yards and 18 touchdowns. So he is the real deal. Right now, it appears that Nebraska might have the upper hand in his recruitment, but Michigan will have their chance and their day in the sun to try and sway that opinion. Keep it locked here on the Michigan Madman for more updates regarding his recruitment and anything else as it pertains to Michigan athletics. We have reached that time in the video where I must bid you adieu, however, and before I do, I'm going to go ahead and give out the Triple M shout out. Triple M shout out number 1 is going to go to my guy, John Mitchell. Congratulations, you are officially a madman. Thank you for your support. Triple M shout out number 2 is going to Tapeworm in My Ear. Congratulations, you are officially a madman. And last but certainly not least today, the third Triple M shout out is going to Ken Torkelson. Ken, congratulations, you are officially a madman. Thank you to everyone for your continued support. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at Maize Madman and follow the channel if you haven't already. Subscribe. Leave your comments down below. What do you think about Gatlin Bair? What do you think about Jordan Shipp and Jesse Minter hitting the road to make the visits himself in Ohio? All that. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. And until next time and all the time, I'm upset.
Ladies and gentlemen,